Today I'm going to start refinishing this outdoor furniture set. The paint is peeling pretty bad, and I'm also going to change the color to a lot darker color. I used an exterior house wash solution in my electric 1800 psi pressure washer. This easily removed any of the mildew and dirt buildup, and it also served to get rid of a lot of the loose paint. If you do want to remove all the paint, you can use something like Goof Off or an acetone to get all the paint off. That would be a lot of work. I use my burnishing tool and a sanding pad to sand down the paint and create a flat surface. Then just another quick shot with a pressure washer to get rid of all the paint dust. Wherever there was bare metal showing, I hit the bare metal with this bonding primer just to get a good base and give the paint something good to adhere to. The table and chairs were actually bolted together, but since they're pretty old, I didn't want to risk stripping out any of the bolts, so I didn't unbolt them and finish the pieces individually. I just kind of left everything together as a chair or a table. It certainly would have been a lot easier to do that, but if I would have stripped out one of those bolts, that would have been a lot of trouble. And the little feet on the bottom, they were also rusted in place, and so I didn't really want to work with those too much and ended up breaking something, so I just ended up painting over them. They're just rubber, and I'm sure eventually some of the paint will come off, but it's going to be a dark color for the table and chairs, so any paint that comes off, it'll just kind of blend in with the color of the table and chairs anyway. It's been really rainy lately, and so I've done all the painting in my garage, and I've left the garage door open when I've been painting, and there's been a couple times where I had to close the garage door just because of the rain, and so I actually wear a mask. Not one of your COVID masks, but like a no-nonsense respirator. So I had the drop closet in my garage, and you can kind of see some of the overspray on the floor, but there wasn't any overspray on anything like my garage door, the walls, or anything in my garage. What you want to do is just make sure that whenever you're spraying, you kind of have an idea of what's behind what you're spraying. And I didn't really have any problems. Just something you want to be careful of when you're spraying indoors. It would have been kind of unreasonable for me to go try to kind of plastic everything off, where I have to go get tools and do things like that. I coated everything with a clear coat, and if you're going to use a clear coat, you want to make sure that you're using the same sheen as your paint. And so if you have a semi-gloss clear coat, I would recommend using a semi-gloss paint. Make sure when you paint, you kind of build the paint up on whatever you're painting. So it wasn't necessary to get everything completely the painted color the first pass. I actually put on about 4 or 5 coats, just spraying and just kind of building up the paint. And so I didn't get any runs or anything like that, and it did end up covering really, really well. But it's something where you really have to take your time. And kind of as a side note as well, I actually went through 8 cans of paint to paint these 4 chairs and this table. So whenever you go to do a project like this, and when you're really going to change the color, you might want to take that into consideration. It's going to take a lot of paint to get this thing painted. It did take quite a while to finish the table and chairs, but I'm glad it's done, and I'm so grateful for everyone who has supported our channel, and thanks for watching.